Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome back to the Fantasy 420, where today we're going to be returning to the diamond and talk about the shortstop position for the upcoming 2019 fantasy baseball season. Once again, we're going to be using the fantasypros.com aggregate rankings so you can decide based on your platform whether you want to pick them or not. But this is just going to be an aggregate ranking and using a bunch of sites compiling together about where they're being drafted. So without further ado, today we're going to be discussing a lot of early projections or people I would project to pick in the early rounds. We've done a lot of positions so far where I've told you to hold off. Your early picks are coming, and this is where I think we begin to get some early selections in my mind or guys I'd really like to buy into. Beginning with Francisco Lindor. He is ranked number 7 on Fantasy Pros, but this is a check your site, big time sort of thing. On Yahoo.com right now, he's going at around 18, pick 18, and to me, that's pretty crazy. I would definitely buy into him there. Obviously, he just got diagnosed with an injury. He's going to be out 7 to 9 weeks, maybe a couple weeks to start the season. And obviously, he had a really monster season last year. 130 runs, 38 home runs, 90 RBIs, 25 steals, and 277 batting average. So I think a lot of people are predicting just a natural regression. It probably will happen, the regression, especially if he misses the 2 weeks of the season and then has to come back, rehab a little bit. Would not surprise me to see a regression, but he could just stay the same and or get better. He's still super young, one of the best players in the league. And if that happens, you have a steal of the draft at pick number 18. I still predict the Indians win the division. He's still going to be the marquee player in that lineup. So if he's being picked 18, I would not hesitate to snap him up real quick or even before then. If you're getting any sort of discount, I would definitely take it. Second up, Manny Machado. Once again, this is a check your site sort of thing on Fantasy Pros. He's currently the number 10 player, but on Yahoo, he is at number 17. And once again, I think that is a must grab around their territory. I'd be really pondering him at the end of the first round in a 12 or 10 team league, much less the 17th pick. We don't know where he's going to sign, so I think a little bit of if he's going to sign with the Dodgers, maybe that's around where you would take him. But if he signs with the Yankees or Philadelphia and hits in the middle of that order in those ballparks that are hitter friendly, he could produce top 5 fantasy numbers. He's coming off a career year, and wherever he signs, he's immediately going to be happy. And like I said, if he picks the Yankees or Philadelphia, I don't see any way he doesn't produce top of the first round, end of the first round value. And even if he doesn't and goes to the Padres, I don't see how he doesn't outproduce that value or at least hit at 17. So I definitely love Manny Machado, and I would not hesitate to pick him. Another guy I definitely would consider is Trevor Story. He's at around pick 18, and I've seen that as consistent on every site. That's a main site for fantasy baseball users. He's just another regression candidate, and he had an even more of a monster season. He had the shortstop monster season last year. 88 runs, 37 home runs, 108 RBIs, 27 stolen bases, and he batted .291. That's Francisco Lindor plus. And I obviously, once again, with Lindor, I don't expect him to hit a top 5 overall fantasy player sort of production season, but he's going to be playing for what I feel like is a good team in the Rockies. They have a good hitting lineup. They have 3 decent starters. They're going to be a contender in that division, and he's going to be hitting at Coors Field. He's going to be hitting at the top of the order, projected 4th or 5th. And I don't see why you wouldn't pick him there or reach a little bit. I mean, I wouldn't feel bad taking him at the end of the first round in a 12 or 10 team league and reaching for him. He's going to provide you safe value in a position where we're, like going to say in a bit, a lot of your options are really shaky. And why not? Just go for him. So I would really feel confident taking him there, or maybe reaching a little bit for Trevor Story once again. Um, the next three guys I would be interested in, I've already mentioned in the second base video, was Adalberto Mondesi for Kansas City. He's at around pick 53. Gleyber Torres for the Yankees at pick 69. And Jose Peraza at pick 113 for the Reds. I like all those guys. If you missed out on these three, if you wanted to pick them. After or before them, I would say, and after those three guys, it's pretty risky. Carlos Correa, I wouldn't blame anyone for picking him at pick 39, and that's consistent across the platforms. But I think after being injury riddled for a year and a half, it's been a year and a half plus since we've had that MVP first half of 2017, and the Astros don't necessarily need him to feast like that with all their great hitters and with that amazing pitching staff. He could feast, but he could also kind of give you the middling production with like he did last year when he was healthy. And then with the injury risk, I mean, he could produce first round value and give you that 2-round leap, but he could also kill you really bad. So I was on the fence on recommending him, so I definitely wouldn't blame anyone, but I don't think he's a slam dunk there. Same with Corey Seager, the 2017 MVP caliber season. And I think, like I've said, the Dodgers have lost a ton of talent, and they're going to expect him to do well if they're going to want to win that division. I think it's going to be harder than people are predicting. But that being said, that injury, Tommy John, although they said it's been going perfectly so far, even last year, or the 2017 season, he wasn't producing like the top guys did last year. So that I mentioned. So at pick 54, that sounds like kind of a tall order. I'd rather just wait on Mondesi, Torres, and Peraza and take my chances with them than pay up to take a risk on Seager. And Juan Segura, he was traded to Philadelphia, so I do like that lineup there, and I do think he'll be a great fit. But he's kind of, and he does provide a 300, 310, which a lot of these guys, average capability, which a lot of these guys I've mentioned don't really do that, and 20 steals. But at pick 60, I think he'll give you a couple rounds better than that, and I do like him, maybe best case scenario. But like I said, I really like Mondesi. If you want 60 steals and more homers, like just pick him, or Torres if you think he's going to have a monster second season with the Yankees. So those guys, I wouldn't blame you for picking them, but I wouldn't really be over the moon to pick them either. So that's why I would recommend those three guys at the start of the list. And then if you didn't hit on them, the next three guys. I also mentioned Eduardo Escobar for Arizona. If you miss out on those bunch of names, also Jurickson Profar and Joey Wendell in the second base video. So that's 10 decent names, but it's pretty murky in this shortstop department. So I'd really recommend using those first couple rounds to snap up one of those three guys and get yourself your franchise shortstop. The sleeper, I would say, that I didn't mention that I kind of would like, at least for the first half, and it's cringy to say this, but Asdrubal Cabrera did get picked up by Texas. He's going to play somewhere with Elvis Andrus being hurt or DHing. He could fill in at third or second, and they lost Profar. So I do think he will play every day, so I wouldn't really worry about that. He's being, you might not even have to draft him, last round sort of guy, and he's going to hit sixth in that Texas lineup, and somebody's going to have to produce. You can at least buy into the first half, he'll do well, and then hopefully sell him off to somebody, or look around and hopefully there's another shortstop who had beasted. Yangervis Solarte, I don't know, just got picked up by the Giants. Brandon Crawford, just keep your ear to the ground, and then after he fizzles, you can or buy in him. Who knows if he looks really good. But Asdrubal Cabrera, I would actually keep in mind. And with that, guys, I'm going to sign off, and I'll see you tomorrow with another video. It was a pleasure.